Hi guys. So been definitely going through a journey for myself here. Um, Lost one of my earrings, so I don't have my earrings anymore. Um, Domestic abuse and violence is so ugly. I want to thank all the women actually that have been starting to talk to me, reach out to me, let me know I'm not alone. They're going through the exact same thing. They have been through the exact same thing. You can see the damages done on these people. Same ones as me. Probably like the amount on my daughters. That's the saddest part. Anyway, it's easy to take someone's mental health and start just bashing them and using it against them and not even take action for your own mental health. The person that you claim has so many mental health issues and all this stuff, but has been by your side through your, stopping cocaine and speed and alcohol and been treated horribly and had this horrible feeling this whole time that you never cared. I never listened to that feeling. I should have. I kept thinking, oh no, 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 just keep luring you and luring you. And people salvage and, you keep looking at them. They're handsome and they're smart and kind and funny and I'll carry your bag for you. And then it slowly starts turning into they know that you can't take stress, so start yelling at you at whatever time in the morning, even though you've been up all night and all day with your child. But you have to be up at 8, and then you have to be up at 6, and then you have to be up, It's a long struggle, especially when you're a medical parent with a daughter on life support and another child at home. And someone just comes in and just swoops and just takes everything from you. And you don't even see it coming. You think they're taking care of you. You have cancer and then you have a brain bleed and you think that they're there for your in sickness and in health and in goodness and in bad. And you look at everything and it's all gone and it's destroyed and there's nothing left. And this big, that's exactly what it is. It's this big silence. I've been calling shelters. I've been calling like everywhere I possibly can. My doctor's office is calling places. Like, it's a struggle to try to find a place to get into anyways. And it's like, it's been impossible. And it's ugly. Like, I'm not the only one like this. It's happening to so many women, so many people, so many men. It's not just women it happens to. I mean, it happens both ways. I do agree on that. Watched it happen to my dad. Watched my dad do it to my mom. Here me and Hugo are in this relationship and it's just going back and forth. All the stress is so much and building up. Like, I don't know his plans because he never has a plan. We can never work on the plans. He never tells me his plans. He never tells me anything. But I think in all my own opinions of realities of things, I really truly honest believe for someone to be that way and to have to call you every 10 minutes when you leave the home and where are you? And I just got to the store like 10 minutes ago. I left the home like 15 minutes ago, constantly. And then claims he has separation anxiety, and then claims that you're suicidal because he's using that against you because it's perfect. But I'm suicidal because of him, because of how degrading he makes me feel about how he tells me no one will ever care. And it's true, people are, there's a side of people who are trying to care, but they don't know how to help. And then there's a side of people who are just high-fiving the guy. He just destroyed his family, has not paid his mortgage. I've been asking him to please focus on his family. But he can focus on other women, and people are like, oh, but it was sentimental. I don't care at this moment. They've been talking endlessly, daily almost. Sending video calls and audio calls and some beautiful shots to each other that apparently was supposed to be sent to me. Yeah. Okay, Hugo. Tell me another story. I have called so many shelters. This man will take my children, get a good income. As soon as I get income, ding me, and just destroy me even more. And why? For what? For his thrill, his empowerment? Over what? And, it came down to it when we had this big argument. I said, why are you with me? You weren't here for the first 7 months of Anna's life. You didn't give me any child support. You never called to see who she was or if she was okay. Or if I was okay after I had her. I had internal bleeding, and she was spinal muscular atrophy type 1. Not even an outfit for her. Not even a flower. Her own innocence destroyed right away. And it's like that song. He used to say it was Anna and me and him driving to the hospital when I was pregnant with Anna. Sarah McLachlan, angel. In the arms of an angel. Or the wings. Or God, he played me. But she was that child born from that wreckage. That destruction. And it's all up in the air, and this man does not care. He does not care. He calls me to gloat that the SPCA and him are all good with the dogs, and calls me on a phone, and then tells everyone. On a phone I cut off, obviously, to show me he got a prepaid credit card or whatever his way. And it's okay. People are going to believe him. He's got my girls. He's got the house. But I had a notification fly on my phone about the mortgage company wanting to know how mediation's going. By the way, Hugo. They'd like to know how that is ending. They must have some news about that. I don't know. Maybe they saw social media, but I just saw this notification fly and it just boiled my blood even more that he just never even cared. And then just tells people and uses my illnesses like my cancer and then uses my brain bleed. The brain bleed, he tells everybody I just went crazy after that. I went crazy because I couldn't handle the stress anymore of his abuse. Because I'm hurt. I'm destroyed. I'm ashamed. I can't even believe that I put myself in that position again. Or my family. It's so ugly. Go on Lisa Victoria Lohan. So Lisa, Vicky, or Victorious. I think Lisa Victorious. Or Lisa Vicky Victorious Lohan. One of the others. Lohan. My last name. You can even put my name in Google. Lisa Lohan. You can see I stood on the news for my daughter's oxygen tanks, fighting by myself for it, advocating for her rights for her education. And Hugo put 2 nurses through stress, and he was the hero who qualified Anna for the oxygen. Medigas, thank you very much for writing the letter to AADL to get her an oxygen concentrator. It's a lot of work to try to do that for ourselves. But look up Anna Lohan on social media. I have other YouTube channels, and stuff because I keep losing the passwords and I can never get back in. I can never figure them out. Sorry, I've still been sick and stuff and just getting over this cold and not contagious really anymore. Just it's the last bits of it. And at least I'm not coughing up blood anymore. I was coughing up blood for a while. My throat was really sore. So I don't know, for 2 days I was coughing up blood, but it's been about 3 days, 2 days maybe I haven't been coughing up blood. So that's good. And just still swollen a bit, but lots of crying too, right? And it's dry in Canada. Hugo did lose a lot of weight. Some people compliment on that, but he did a salt diet. I don't even know exactly how it works. He was explaining something to me about water and the salt, and you just take that and you don't eat anything else or something like this, and you make your metabolism go faster and you lose rapid amount of weight. And I don't know, something about the salt and water diet. And then there was and then he started just getting to where he was only keeping his appetite to one meal a day and all this stuff, and really tried, really made an effort to lose the weight. And he always told me it's so quick to lose the weight. It's so quick to, he's like, oh, I can lose and gain the weight anytime I want. I can make it happen anytime I want. Just watch. I'm going to go to 96 and then I'm going to go to 89. And he did. And I was sitting by his side like a little puppy dog. I got played again. My last relationship. It's a similar thing. You run around like a chicken with your head cut off, thinking someone appreciates you or trying to get their appreciation because you don't understand what you're doing wrong all the time. You don't understand why you're being yelled at. You can't, comprehend why you can't take 2 minutes as a mom to, just do the mom things and, okay, I'm going to pick up that pretty soon here, or... And I found myself today, I went for a walk. I started going outside. I was like, I never do that. I used to walk every day, like at least 2 miles, 2.5, 3 miles a day sometimes. Whenever I could get a chance, I would walk. Or whenever I could feel like I needed to revive my life again because I was starting to drown in my depression. I haven't done that in a long time, just to go by myself and not feel like something was hollowing my chest or hammering my chest and tightening and squeezing me right here. And I can't get out the door. This time I put my boots on, I got out the door, and God, I walked forever. I walked in one direction through snow. I walked through another direction through snow, across the road. I was like, oh my God, I can do all this. And nobody's yelling at me. Nobody's calling me every 2 minutes. Where are you? When are you going to be home? You should have been home by now. I just got to the store? What do you mean I should have been home by now? Never stops. This is a nice piece for a change. I never get to hear this. But I'm also scared at the same time because I don't know what's going to happen to my children. The house is in foreclosure. What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to everything that my parents had and my stuff and all that things that we could have gotten through. We could have sorted. We could have organized. We could have done happy fundraisers or something with all of that stuff. We could have made that home beautiful and sold it and given it to a family that was efficient somehow, or sold it or whatever, I don't know. So we could have been into a 1-level home where we can get Anna into a tub and get her into a shower or whatever, because we can't do that at that house. It's so stressful. 9 dogs. I have to stay at home all the time. Most of the time Hugo's telling Hope, our youngest, to stay home because 9 dogs we have to take care of. Somebody makes a mess, or there's a mess here, there's a mess down, there's like 3 messes downstairs, 3 messes here. There's, another dog, 5 dogs wanting outside, 4 dogs wanting in, 4 dogs, it's constant rotating, constant. 1 dog 9 dogs, can you imagine how many times they have to go outside? Ooh. They chew, they wreck everything, They're bored. They want to go for a walk. They want to play. Jump on my daughter's bed. I mean, yes, we have to try to control it. But, oh, no, but I mean, if Hugo's not there and he's outside having a cigarette and the dogs are jumping all over her, I shouldn't be yelled at for it. Because I'm worried that all of a sudden I come down from the bathroom, well, how come nobody's with her and there's a dog on her bed? Oh, it's outside for a smoke. Or I'll be like laying down having a nap and get up and Hugo's outside having a smoke and leaves Anna there. Thank God I can hear for the monitor. And I'm used to that. And I can hear him go outside or whatever. But there's a lot of times when he just goes outside because it's normal. It's fine. Oh, I'll hear the monitor. No, you can't always hear the monitor. Or she'll start choking and you don't even realize it. Because you can hear it in the trach before the monitor sometimes. Ugh, it's just a nightmare. And this, everybody's like, well, I'll just do this. And oh my God. But to put my daughter in medical foster care, yes, it could kill her. Or just put her in the hospital and leave her there. I have to be with her by her side because there's a lot of medical care that people don't understand that's really important for her life. That me and Hugo only know, unfortunately. So this is where my situation is at right now. So we're day 5. Still no shelter. I'm starting to consider that I have no other alternative but to admit myself into the hospital after this, or, may have a possibilities of other options and something like that. But God, I don't even know where to start with anything right now. My head is just so full and so like, oh my God, what just even happened? I mean, as packing our stuff and packing things in my home, I'm crying. I'm this mother who's going, my home has been destroyed by this man who just keeps walking around the house giving me glares, doesn't even care that he's ruined all of this. He's not created any happiness in his home with us. He's demanding and a drill sergeant and yelling and throwing things and tossing them and never trying to organize. Losing his keys constantly, losing his cigarettes constantly, needing cigarettes and wanting you to get this and wanting you to, and you get tired, and then he's like mad because he's got to run to the store for you because you ask him like, okay, you have to go to the store 3 days in a row for me, but I've done it for 15 years for your alcohol, your cigarettes, for for anything else that you ever needed. God, I ran beside you all the time when you needed me. When your ex needed her rent paid, I sold my truck. Made sure the kids, all 3 of your children had Christmas presents, food, shelter, and all of you put me on the street and think this is great. Your daughters, your ex, your cousins, your cousin Tina and Eric, and none of them met me from a hole in the ground or don't even know the situation, but they'll mock it. And they'll mock somebody who goes, oh, she has issues. Yeah, I was in the hospital for suicide because of Hugo Duchesne. Because of the amount of verbal and physical and mental abuse he's caused me. The medical abuse and neglect he's caused my daughter, Anna. By not taking her to her appointments. By making me cancel them all the time. By neglecting all the things that she needs evaluated and done. Like a sleep study she hasn't had done in 13 years. For a trach-vented child who's growing. Eyeglasses she's needed for about 5 or 6 years now. No, maybe 7. 7 years now, maybe 8. They're so small, they're still itty-bitty little glasses. I can't even get her to an eye appointment, a dentist appointment. I'm not allowed. Now I don't even have a medical insurance for my kids, for myself. I had thyroid cancer. I had a brain bleed. I need the medications to slow down the aneurysms. I have no medical insurance for a very long time. Benefits cut them off. And then we have no house insurance. We have oxygen tanks, medical equipment like you couldn't imagine in our home, and we have no insurance in our home. I can't get insurance. I keep trying to ask him. It's, stress. It's a constant fight. every time I ask. This isn't the time to talk about it now, Lisa. You're just starting a fight. You're just trouble. You're pathetic. Nobody's going to ever listen to you, and nobody's ever going to care about you, and I don't want to talk about it right now. I'm tired. You've had 3 years off of work. I don't see the yard being cleaned. You just follow me around like a puppy dog, telling people, oh, I'm just concerned she's going to commit suicide. Well, stop yelling at me. Stop calling me names. Stop calling me the names that I told you caused me the most trauma in my life. Because you're constant with that daily. And a lot of times I don't even really do anything. I'm sitting there beside my daughter, helping you find whatever you're angry about. I've helped you through your drinking issues, made you understand that there was more we needed to change. Or I think I was just being played. You told me you're very good at that and putting people in your pocket. I understand that your daughter lost a baby and this wasn't the time for all this stuff to disrupt. But the constant degrading feeling that my daughters constantly have, in those years I've constantly had to watch them because they never got to meet their siblings and cry and cry and cry and cry. It hurts. Because they're not being accepted, and then you go and you tell people, oh, the reason why I've never had them meet them is because of you. Well then, why didn't you get on a plane and take your daughter and go and have her meet them? Because why did it take me to buy the plane ticket for you to do that? As a Father's Day gift. So that you could reunite with your children, so that you could take your youngest daughter and have everybody reunite. But I'm the devil. And then you tell me, you send me this message. I will be here when you come back, but you're blocked on Facebook for now. There is no coming back until you, Mr. Hugo Duchesne, start seeing the reality of the mess you made and start cleaning it up and start showing me and everybody else who sees what's going on anything authentic about you. Because right now, I just see a pile of crap constantly going. And eventually, you can only play the victim for so long, Hugo, before you lose control of that too. Then my sister's going to take over the kids, and then she's going to take over the funding, just like I've been telling people on Facebook. If everybody has been following me for all these 14 years, that she's been really wanting the government funding. And it's probably one of the biggest reasons why she made sure that my daughters went to an abusive person. Because she's angry, saying I'm nasty for the things I say. Oh, Lisa, you're always on Facebook. You're always on your phone. You're always on your phone. Yeah, because I'm trying to look for jobs. I'm trying to figure out how to apply for jobs. I'm trying to figure out how to do resumes online. I don't even know how to do any of this stuff. I'm trying to figure out how to save my home. I'm trying to figure out, do I fundraise? Do I do this? But everybody hates us. Try to go to work. I can't. Try to do this. I try to do that. With my daughter for 14 years, medically taking care of her. Well, I've been promised that I'm not supposed to worry about a thing. Don't worry. You know, focus on Anna, focus on all the medical. That's really hard work. Plus the kids at home, and you're cooking supper, you're taking it. 14 years of doing that. I had maybe, 7 surgeries. I think I've had 5 overnights or whatever like that in the hospital. Maybe a couple I've had to stay for 4 days in delivery with my baby. But I'm always in the hospital with people. Always at home with people. Always with people. But nobody takes the time to truly talk to me. They just want to label everything. Hurt me. Resent me. Say I'm nasty. Say I'm cold. Say I'm weak. Has anybody asked why? my own sister, has she truly sat down and stopped bickering and labeling my diagnoses and playing Miss, I don't know, Judge Judy and Martha Stewart all in one. And maybe she needs to stop herself and stop telling everybody what I am and making me feel more belittled than what I feel like already. Maybe she needs to go to my therapy sessions with me, and then she can see what my diagnosis is instead of telling everybody what it is. Go to the hospital with me, maybe once or twice, just get a little small verdict here or there so you can be the Tweety bird and go, oh my God, this is how Lisa's life is. But it's not, because you're not there all the time. You just pop in when you need to and pop out when you need to. That's it. Just poop, 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 poop. And then you tell, oh, I'm there for all this. Yes, I know you got all this family. I know you got all that. But you had almost $6,000, over $6,000 a month to help out. Where was my help in the home that I was supposed to get from you, from your family? That I got called a piece of shit when I cut them all off and said no more. And then I get told by my spouse that my sister manipulates me, uses me not to talk to her anymore, on and on and on and on and on and on, and how my sister never cared, and my family is all this and that, and my mom's crazy, and I got to do this, and I got to make sure I get her out. And the videos that I had, make sure you delete them, Lisa. That doesn't look good. And I did. Deleted a couple, but there's always ways to backtrack those, right? Yeah, somehow. So I'm not concerned about that. What I am concerned about is the safety of my children. The fact that a man needs to turn to his exes to talk to because he feels he needs someone to talk to. And everybody is like, oh, but they needed to talk to each other. Oh, okay. I've only been asking that for 15 years. How come this woman from his past history gets the pedestal before I do? Regardless, sympathy or not. It's been going on for years, and it doesn't stop. So my question is, if that's the priority, then why didn't you make that the priority in the first place? Why'd you ruin my life? My children's life? My own son even says I'm a piece of shit. I had this brain bleed. In 3 months, I wake up after this brain bleed. 3 months of massive pain. And I mean, I still have pain. And I can't even explain it. The pressures you get, things like that. And you wake up from this brain bleed and you're like, oh my God, the trauma. Like, holy shit, this really happened. I almost died in front of my kids. I'm just trying to get over the trauma. I'm trying to get my balance back. I'm trying to get my focus back, my speech, figuring all this stuff out. Like, holy man, all this stuff happened. In a random split second. I had cancer before that. Took care of my dad, like all this stuff, and I'm a piece of shit person. Everybody's so good to tell me what I am, label me, put me down. Where are they ever? There's a few out there that I talk to here and there. But it's like talking to ghosts. You know they're there. They're virtually there. You hear that? This is depression. When you take this, and you go like this, and you look at that, there's nothing there. No picture, nothing. Just shadow on the wall. Just a wall. So, that's what I do, and at this wall constantly. And you know what it's like? Sitting there being in the system and everybody's like, I can't help you. I'm sorry, I can't help you. Try back again tomorrow. Call back to Win. I wish I could help you. I don't know what to do. This is a complex situation. It's a very complex situation. So nobody knows what to do to help it. So that's why nobody steps in. A lot of people are told they step in and my daughter goes to medical foster care and she'll die. And it's true. Like we have to be beside her, me or Hugo. But unfortunately, I've gone through the ugliness of battles and courts and fights and the vicious cycles of families and back and forth. And that's what Hugo wants. He wants another fight. He fought with his union. He fights with, everybody at work. He hanged a guy by the throat, a boss, because he didn't take somebody for his McDonald's. I mean, yes, he has some good reasoning behind his actions. Of course, he always has a good reason behind his action. Most abusers would, right? He was getting aggressive at work, punched a guy, blah, blah, blah. He got fired from a job and he didn't want to tell me because he punched a guy in the face. Because his temper was getting bad. Anyway, it is what it is. And I made my decisions, and unfortunately, they were the wrong decisions. I should have known better in my life after going through that twice in my life, now 3 times. I should have seen the signs. I should have seen the red flags. I should have listened to the red flags. But when I got pregnant with Anna, it was too late. And I was freaking out because I didn't really know whether this was a good relationship or not yet. It was all... Anyway, shit happens. Now, this man is going to wait for me to get into housing or in whatever, and then all this stuff, and he's going to claim all the pogey. So I just let him have the girls now. I'm tired. I'm not going to fight. It's a matter of time before the bombshell falls on him. He can have the girls claim their funding if that's what makes his go and ruining people's lives that way. It's a sick world that these people are reality and they don't get the help, and then they move on to their next victim. I'm probably his 2nd or 3rd victim now. For sure his ex went through it, because just the stories he tells me about how he pushed her so hard once that she went flying across the room and hit the back of the couch and flying, and then there was a party and she was having a big party and he got aggressive and somebody grabbed a knife and held a knife to his son's throat and he ended up breaking ribs, and that's why he couldn't come down for Anna right away, because he had to go to 2 months of an anger management program or to jail. That was the choice for his aggression. Yeah, it's not fair that I said, you know what, it's heartbreaking to see that somebody purposely leaves my children out of just disrespect, out of despite. But they never looked my children in the eyes and see them cry day after day. My daughter, who can't get up out of bed and can't meet her siblings ever and never has met her capable of walking around working siblings who were more than capable to ever meet her or video chat her. But there is so much ignorance. So much ignorance. And that viciousness turned right around on me by an entire family of other side of family of people that I've never met, but that were more than willing to take everything that I had. My truck, my money. His ex was yelling at us, saying that I was the bitch that needed to give her money. She gets good chunks of money at the end of the year, even for children she doesn't even have living with her. And when you send the proof of it to their small town of governments of everybody knows everybody there, all of a sudden, Oh, there's not enough evidence. Hugo won't call, won't fix anything. So I figured out whose side he's on things. Protects his ex constantly over the fact that we're in a foreclosure, but he will let her have 9 months of child support that she never had a child for. And she's doing well financially. They don't even need the money. None of them do. But anyway, it is what it is. It's not my business anymore. Hugo made his decisions, and he's the narcissist that's going to look great. Always do. They always do. Because I went on Facebook and I right underneath the thing saying, because I'm at a point now where I'm like, 15 years of this bullshit and my daughter's being treated like crap. And giving so much of myself for my daughters to cry was not fair all these years. To hear a man tell me that his families are pieces of crap because they don't stand behind them and they don't do anything to fight for his kids' rights to make sure that he can see them. Nobody says anything. They'll see them in town, but nobody will say, hey, maybe you should go see your dad. Nothing. And I get yelled at for that. I stand up beside his family that attacks him, saying that he owes his grandmother, he took 10 grand from his grandmother and never paid her back any of the money, and he's a piece of shit. And then they turn around and now all of a sudden he's a hero, and they've never met my son Caleb. They never came to the funeral. They've never met my daughters. They've never met me. They've never been inside my home to see the chaos, the pain, the destruction he caused, how intense people are around him. Anyway, people are going to believe what they want to believe, and people are going to, pick out all the bits and pieces and have to be the little investigators, but nobody's going to really care about what these 2 little girls. It's just going to be vicious attack after vicious attack. And, make sure that we get a protection order, and make sure she's not going to come in the house, and make sure we're going to do this, and make sure we're going to do that. And then if you lose the kids, then Stephanie will take the kids, because that's what he wants. Then he walks away. He loses the house. All my family stuff, all my stuff is gone. I couldn't even get it into storage. I was trying so hard to get it into storage. And that's when I started to order the storage bin. I was getting ready to order the storage bins and I was starting to pack the boxes, is when all this started. Called the police on me while I was packing. I said, you are a bastard for what you did to my family. And I was crying while I was packing the boxes of our home, not knowing where I'm going to go because he wants me out. Because he couldn't pay a registration to the van of my daughter's disability van because he has a lien against it because of his child support now that he just gave 20 grand over for 2 years. That we don't have the money for. And for a child that wasn't even at home. And then he's talking to his blonde, blue-eyed, beautiful girlfriend who has lots of money because her ex just died. All of a sudden, they're very cozy. And it just happens to be all around the time that her ex dies that my house is going into foreclosure. Wow. Good play, Hugo. Good play. So, everything I've been saying on Facebook for 14 years about my sister going after wanting the government funding, wanting control of Anna, my mom wanting control over that because she's got her gambling addiction and all that stuff. These people are gambling addicted, compulsive, just over money, not even caring about my daughter. I don't know what Hugo's deal is. I know whatever it is, it's very dirty. You can just feel it crawling everywhere. It's just dirty all the way around. And the only way I'll ever look at it any other way, anybody can say to me anything, is right now this is all public. Let's see Hugo actually step up to the plate if he truly is this victim. Let's see him get that mortgage done. Let's see him save his house. Let's see him save his daughter's lives. Let's see him step up to the plate as the victim he says he is then. Let's see how he can take care of the kids being at home all the time without somebody there to talk to and help him take care of everything. Oh, I'm sure his family's going to be on the way, though. I'm sure his daughter's going to be on a flight, or somebody's going to come into his aid, because everybody's going to have sympathy over him. Because, you know, they're all going to focus on the one little piece, but they're not focusing over the 15 years of destruction that nobody cared to put together so that there could be harmony for everybody. No, there's just focus of just viciousness. And it's like I found my ex all over again, the one that shot my dog. Her name was Bailey. She was a border collie, greyhound cross, and she was beige. And he hit her all the time and would yell at her and threatened to shoot her. And I never thought he would shoot her, but he did. Picked me up from work and had her leash right at the feet of the floor of the car. Blood, a couple drops of blood on her collar. She was gone. So he accomplished that, and that's when I left my first ex. I really know how to pick them, people, so you gotta learn to trust you and love you and learn to have confidence. And if there's red flags, you do everything you can. Everything. Holler, be loud, run, and don't stop advocating. Be strong. It's so hard to be strong, I know it is. I can barely hang on half the time because this is killing my heart more than anybody can ever imagine. I can't even tell anybody what my mother heart feels like right now. It's so destroyed. Doesn't even feel like there's even a person inside me anymore. So I get it. It's one step at a time. If anybody wants a bunch of plants, I'm going to be giving a bunch away. I got a whole bunch in my office too. All right. It's okay if you talk, guys.